Maybe I can play the bookie.
No, hell no. That's why I'm like, yo, it's good.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? What is up, man? Another good football Saturday, another good football Sunday.
Absolutely.
Man, Bucks money line at plus 100 was probably the freest money.
You want to tell them about my text I sent you at 12 o'clock again?
That's what I mean. I was told specifically to take Bucks.
You were on it before, right?
Plus money. Yeah, I was on it before. It just gave me like more confidence.
Absolutely.
I've
never felt worse about an Eagles game in my life. Yeah. Ever. And after seeing you probably caught lingers of like Eagles Twitter, some people on social media really freaking the fuck out. Like I was going to that game like, bro, we're probably gonna get thrashed. Like it is what it is. But we're here. I still think next year I should get fired, but we were here since week 2. Even last year, low key.
Yeah, I find it very, very funny.
You know what else is funny? You know who's the quarterback's coach and pass game coordinator for the Commanders? Brian Johnson. You know how you want to hear an interesting stat? Jalen Daniels has led more scoring drives, touchdowns, field goals, 23, than incompletions. And his pass game coordinator and quarterback coach is Brian Johnson. Let's have a great show.
Oh, man. Off to a fiery start for our Eagles fans. Welcome into the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and Manny Ruffin.
It's good, boss.
The
Sino
MLB,
trip, post-Sino trip.
Yeah, post-Sino trip. Table games did not do us good.
Happy birthday to the Madam.
Yep. But.
I didn't say happy birthday. I'm a fake co-host.
But. Oklahoma. Money line.
Electric.
Unbelievable.
Electric.
I was texting everybody. I was sitting at the sports book watching the game, texting everybody. I'm like, look, all we need is just one turnover. Auburn turns the football over. One turnover, the game's over. And this was pre-halftime. And at halftime, I got him at plus 250 and shipped another sack on him. So I'm like, if they win, we're pushing $1,000 if they win. I need them. I had money line, I had plus 1, and then at halftime, I ripped him again. So when that pick happened, because essentially they get another first down there. I think there was 4 minutes left. They get another first down. Game's basically over. They're at midfield.
It's not looking good.
So
Peyton Thorne's still throwing the ball, but it's not looking good.
Which is unbelievable. Right. When they were running the ball pretty damn well for the majority of the game, and then just seeing that pick six was unbelievable. Defensive line just came in clutch at the end of the game. Lots of
Oklahoma's
pressure.
QB, freshman, tough motherfucker, diving triple and over 3 people in the end zone, get you the cash too. It's fucking electric.
Was it a 40 or a 60-yard run to kind of open up the
that was the first score, right?
Scoring,
Yep.
yeah. That
Another
was
hell of a game, college football, Georgia, Bama.
Yeah, unbelievable.
My God,
I had Georgia.
I was roll tide, but that was is that top 3? Top 3 games. I'm talking about college, NFL. I've probably ever seen, bro. Just given the context, who was making the plays, how good the plays were that the kids were making. The start of the game, Jalen Milroe pretty much cemented to me that he's QB1. You could say whatever. We all knew he was capable of running the ball the way he was, but even some of the plays he was making evade in the pocket. The one in the first half where he took a side step down, bent all the way down, faked through, shimmy, first down, then put his head down and try to get the touchdown. Then he's making throws to Ryan Williams from the left hash to the right sideline over his opposite shoulder, perfectly in the breadbasket. Ryan Williams, we could say whatever you want to say about that kid too. Them plays are absolutely incredible. I don't even think he can leave college until he's a junior. So we're going to see him for 2 more years, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's going to be 20.
One thing I want to know how your opinions maybe have changed or stay the same. I wasn't the biggest Carson Beck guy last year. I had to see more. Definitely in games like this. And to be honest, to me, watching how he responded that second half, because the first half looked horrendous. It was so fucking bad. There was one play, I don't know if you remember it. They ran a screen pass, and the wide receiver literally kept running fucking forward. And Carson Beck threw the screen and threw a picture on that play. As a quarterback, I feel you're so, if you feel that out of sync, it's so easy to just pack the game in and not come back and not stay in the game. He was making ridiculous throw after throw after throw, down 33-15, down 33-23, still staying in there taking hits. If I was a scout, Carson Beck might have raised a little bit on my board too, just seeing how relentless he was versus that Alabama defense. They were a young secondary, but I got to tip my hat to Carson Beck. That he played a hell of a game to bring the boys back.
First of all, we also can give some credit to Kirby Smart.
Great coach.
Down 4 touchdowns early. Most people would write them off, and shows the grit.
To be honest, I feel we low key all respect Kirby that way, because I was not out of that game yet.
They were plus 1,300 down 4 touchdowns.
That's wild.
Like,
Because I'm watching that game.
1,300.
It's so crazy because I'm watching, like, I don't know how you're watching that game, but I'm watching it like this is not, like, I'm just, for some reason, I could just feel that it wasn't over. I think it's because Georgia played that bad in the first half. Though. Like, we just know Georgia's good, and the first half was just like a little uncharacteristic. But I just felt like something deep. I didn't think they were going to come back and win and be like that. But I'm like, okay, they'll make it like maybe a 10-point game. Like, we're going to have to watch this game. And like, that's just a testament to Kirby Smart. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos that came out of his like interviews after the game and shit. But I said it last year a couple times, like, I just would run through a brick wall for Kirby Smart if he was my coach, bro. Like, I think he said something about, he was talking about the play that Ryan Williams made when he caught the ball and then, like, sidestep, made the guys run into each other. And he was, like, talking about the corners. He's like, I'm not mad at them at all for the coverage. Like, the coverage was perfect, absolutely perfect. I want them to do that every single time. He's like, we just want to make the tackle. But he said, I'd put the same 3 guys out there. I trust them to make the play every single time again. And, like, if you were to hear that after you, technically as a corner and safety, lost the game in a 2-on-1, like, your coach is saying that in the interview, it's like, bro, I'm going out next week with my hair on fire. It doesn't matter. I'm not stressed at all. Like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Nothing, no weird vibes in the interview. No Nick Sirianni. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just feel like, you know, if like that electric long touchdown from Ryan, like if that, first of all, that shouldn't have happened.
Absolutely not. I mean, that kid's unreal.
But like if that doesn't happen, and he gets tackled right there, they still have to drive basically half the field to go win the game. Like with like less than 2.5 minutes.
Still even hard to do.
So like Georgia almost pulled off like the unthinkable, down 4 touchdowns, and basically being shut out. So I don't know. I got to give a lot of credit to Georgia there. I have them in that pool, so I was heavily rooting for them. And I had
a bad pool weekend. Speaking of the pool,
yeah,
Ole Miss lost, Jets lost.
Oh, the Ole Miss loss also. Like I had them as just an extra money line and a bar line, just an extra piece. Looking on social media and seeing people like...
Did you see people talking about Jackson Dart?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fucked.
He was getting shit.
That was fucked.
But I saw like it was BR betting and they tweeted, they were like, it was some stupid meme, but it was like, you know, me clicking minus 500 or minus 700 Ole Miss to get my payout up an extra $7.
Right.
And then like they fucking lose.
Right.
But I guess this goes to show, everyone likes to talk about, you know, going into this game, it was always Alabama because Georgia had that offensive dud against Kentucky. Maybe it wasn't an offensive dud because Kentucky just did that to Ole Miss.
On the road.
So on the road, first time they won, you know, on the road at Ole Miss since 1978. So you got to give some credit there. And then highest ranked opponent win since 2007. So like maybe it wasn't an offensive dud for Georgia as much as it was just Kentucky's defense. So I don't know.
Them Ole Miss alumni want to see them boys in suit and ties. They said no more.
That's right.
That shit to me was fun, bro. I don't got nothing to do with what they got going on, bro.
So what we'll have to do too is we'll have to focus in on the NFL matchups this week, just because the college matchups that we got this week, the NFL matchups are absolutely insane. Like just one of them off the bat. Obviously, we know the Thursday night game, Bucks and Falcons in Atlanta, divisional matchup. You have the Bills in Houston against the Texans. There's a lot of big games there. So excited to see finally the NFL slate starting to pick up heavily. You got the Vikings overseas against the Jets in London on Sunday morning.
I mean, fuck me, bro.
We're gonna miss that whole fucking game, man.
Maybe it's a good thing because it's not looking good for Poole.
Yeah, well, I need the Jets for this division parlay, which we will get into in a little bit. All right, welcome to the MLB postseason October baseball blackjack parlay. We are hard mode, and we are picking the wild card winners from the AL and NL wild card series to start this postseason. It's hard mode. So, for example, we're gonna pick a winner, and if we lose that hand, we have to pick the other team. For example, we could pick the Orioles to win. If we lose the hand, we have to take the Royals to win the series. So on and so forth. 4 legs, 4 series. Let's get it cash. All right, I'm starting simple. I got to take it. Orioles minus 170.
Okay.
Let's go to the hand.
I like Cole today. So if we could lose his hand, I wouldn't mind it. We won it.
15 versus 10. We're going to hit that. We're going to get a 20. All right.
So we got Stroud in there.
So we got the Orioles in there.
Oh, the Orioles in there. Okay. All
right.
I low key.
Now what do you want to do?
Give me the Brew Crew.
The Brew Crew.
Actually,
I kind of like.
Give me the Mets. Give me the Mets.
You think you're losing the hand?
Give me the Mets. No. Let's give me the Mets. It's just gut feeling, bro.
Blackjack.
It's just gut feeling. It's just gut feeling.
I like the Mets.
The Mets are just way too hot right now. Yeah, injuries, no Yelly. It's just weird, bro. I'm sorry. I hate the Mets too, man.
I hate to do this, man. I hate to do this.
What are we doing?
I'm taking the Tigers at plus 160.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm riding the hot hand. Scooby Dooby to start.
Let's go.
Game 1. 18 versus a 10. Please don't have a 10. 21. Fuck.
Understood.
So that means
That might not be a bad thing, though.
so we lost.
That might not be a bad thing.
Gotta put the Astros in there at minus 190 now. Okay, and now our last.
I gotta
series is your
obviously.
pick.
I got to the Padres.
Padres
I can't take
over
two
the
on this
Braves. Let's see what the hand
Come on.
says.
Come on.
Soft 14. Gotta hit it. Free hit.
Come on. Give it to me.
All right, gotta hit it
Give it to
again.
me.
All
Let's
right,
go.
21.
Let's go.
Okay.
This is a good parlay.
Okay.
I like how this. You mean?
Not bad.
They work with us.
The Orioles to win at minus 170. The Mets to win at plus 115.
I like this.
Astros to win the series at minus 190. And the Padres to beat the Braves at minus 190. Those four give you plus 696. And that is the MLB postseason wild card.
Wait,
Blackjack
I
parlay.
like. How much do you want to put on this?
I'm like,
I'll go in. I like this.
yeah, I kind of fucked with this one.
I like it.
I kind of got some,
I'll put 20 on it.
yeah, I'm a little nervous about, like, it's a $40 would be 278. Not bad.
I like that.
Basically plus 700. That's a good start. Also, like, shout out ESPN Bet, by the way.
Need a little
I'm gonna
booster
do
in there.
that
Yeah, shout out.
because ESPN Bet allows you to parlay all four of these wildcard games.
Unlike
FanDuel
redacted.
did not allow us to do that, so we moved over to ESPN Bet. So that's why there's a difference.
good on you guys. Maybe they give us a boost too or something. No sweat.
Yeah, maybe they do. They should.
Yeah. Shout out to ESPN Bet.
Shout out to ESPN Bet. All right, well, that was interesting, and that was...
I actually like the parlay.
I like the parlay, too. All right, let's get to... Speaking of more betting and more parlays, let's look at some future parlays. I would like to look at... I have 3 future lays that are in right now, and I just want to see where they are after the first month of football. Statistically, just looking at if they're even remotely close to cashing. For example, like some of these have, yardages for receiving, passing props, that kind of stuff. So to know where they are after the first month of football, with obviously plenty to go, but I think it's a good indicator to know if you actually have a shot, it being a month into football. So let's start with the receiving parlay. This is plus 7,550 odds, 6 legs for 6 guys to hit their receiving mark there. It's, when you do this before the season starts, you can choose between like 750 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,250 yards, so on and so forth. So I went with... To start things off, I went with Mike Evans, 1,000 yards. Again, this was kind of a good pick there just because he hasn't missed this in his career ever. So it being after 4 weeks, he's got 214 yards. I would say it's not that he's not on pace, but he isn't where I want him to be after 4 weeks, after 4 games. But for he needs less than 800 yards to go, I'll take it. Stephon Diggs, 1,000 plus yards in the regular. Obviously, this is all regular season. He's got 233 out of 1,000. I'll take it. I thought he was going to have a better start. I didn't know Nico was going to really be like solidifying himself as the number 1 guy. But we've seen that. Then Malik Neighbors for 1,000. I wish I just bumped him up to 1,250. Barring any injuries, there's no reason why Neighbors hasn't touched 1,250 this season. So happy that we got him at 1,000. And that was plus money too, plus 140. Then Amon-Ra St. Brown, I have him for 1,250, and he's at 252 to start the season. So a little bit of a slow start. That week 1 game, his line, his over-under was like 71.5 yards. He had like 14 yards in week 1. So obviously not a great start, but long season, need about 1,000 yards. Jamar Chase next is 1,250, and he's at 300. So again, that was a little bit favorited at minus 125. We'll see if the connection can get there. I need some more receptions. I mean, this was 3 receptions. Outside of that long touchdown that he had, he wouldn't have had any yards in this game. So need Jamar to just keep getting the ball more and bump those yard numbers up. We'll take 300 after 4 weeks, going for 1,250. And then lastly, the most disappointing one of them all is Garrett Wilson. He's at 191, and I need him for 1,250. The connection with Rodgers is not there right now. We've seen what Salah's saying about the whole cadence and all that. But after week 1, you're on the road against the 49ers on Monday Night Football, and Aaron Rodgers says, how electric you are as a player, Garrett Wilson, and we need to bump those targets up. He said that on the Pat McAfee show. We have to bump those target numbers up. Well, you went from 11 targets, and then you went 6, 6, 6, 7, and he's barely getting 60 yards a game. Your number one receiver should be getting, he's got to be getting 80 to 100 yards a game. So I'm very disappointed about that. I think my read right there is so far looking like it was completely off, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully Garrett Wilson's the one to take that next step there. For the Jets to start winning football games and start having some more confidence, he has to get the ball more.
Yeah.
That's where I think with that. The next one, I think, is this division lay, the division winner parlay. We did one of these last year and it got to the last week, but this year is looking a lot more sweaty than last year. So it's plus 8,736 odds. I did boost that with a 25% token on FanDuel. 7 legs. I left out the AFC North just because I did not want to choose between the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Bengals. Obviously, with the Browns also having some hype around them as well. Falcons are my NFC South winner. They're 2-2 behind the Saints, and they do play a big divisional matchup at home against the Bucs on Thursday. Okay, not great. Still need to see some more. I've been saying that. I said it last week. Still need to see a little bit more from the Falcons. But cool, way to get that 58-yarder here on Sunday to win that game. The Jets, 2-2. That's my AFC East winner. They're 2-2 behind the Bills with the London game against the Vikings this week. Was just, we need to win that game especially after this home loss against the Broncos. Not good. Bills shocking a lot of people, still being 3-1 with the weapons that they lost. I just hope that Aaron Rodgers and this offense can figure it out, get a win, give the Vikings their first loss, and we move to 3-2 after 5. The next, I got the North winner in the NFC. That's the Lions. They're 3-1, obviously one game behind the Vikings. Look, I still think they can win the division. I don't know what the hell's going on, how the Vikings are pulling this off, but hopefully the Lions are going to be the team to get this done in the NFC North. And then the AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, the defending champs still have not lost a game. I know it's very sweaty games down the stretch in every single game that they've played this season, but they're finding ways to win games, and good teams win games. Better teams cover. Great teams cover. But 4-0 for the Chiefs there. They got the Saints on Monday Night Football. So for us and the Falcons to win the NFC South, need the Chiefs to beat the Saints on Monday Night Football. The next, I faded the Eagles last year. Did not put them in my parlay. I let some other people talk me into taking the Eagles this year, and right now they look like dog shit. But again, I'm not going to go off on them and kill them. They missed so many potential, great players for them on their starting lineup in Tampa.
Potential.
I know potential was kind of a dig. I have to put a little dig in there.
Like 3 top 10 players.
Yeah, but obviously, we knew AJ wasn't going to play. We knew Smitty wasn't going to play. No Lane. I understand it. Unfortunate to start the year like that. That was a game and a revenge game that if the starters were there, I do believe the Eagles would have went to Tampa and won that game. I know they don't play well against Tampa. They normally don't win against Tampa. But I think with their starters, they most likely would have won that game. So Eagles 2-2 behind the 3-1 Washington Commanders, who obviously with Jaden Daniels are shocking the world, just like the Vikings. But
they might win the division, bro.
Yeah, which is the problem. But hopefully Eagles just get on this kick. You got the bye week. This is a very important bye week. Get some guys to get healthy on this week off, and then get back to it. And they got the Browns to first game out of the bye. Then the 49ers. We got Achilles tendonitis, injury now on both sides for Christian McCaffrey. I know a lot of people were expecting him to play and start this season. Brock Purdy is having a good start to the year, but it's kind of being drowned out with the injuries with Debo and the injuries with CMC. They are my NFC West winner. So hopefully that, again, Seahawks having the hardest schedule the rest of the way, them being a little bit fraudulent, 49ers are able to come back and win this one. And then lastly, the Texans as the AFC South winner. They're 3-1. They host the Bills this week. That's a very, very crucial matchup. Need the Bills to lose. Need the Texans to win to go to 4-1. That'll help the Jets if the Bills can lose on the road. So we'll see. This is not where I actually thought this was going to be. Where this was 4 weeks into the year. I thought the Jets would be doing a little bit better. Certainly thought the Eagles were going to be on top of this division. Actually thought the Eagles could have been 4-0. So little different there, but hopefully, again, it's a long season, so just keep me in it, right? Keep me in it for the longevity of this season. And then moving to the last one here. This one's this was a high odds. This was a little sprinkle. It's plus 64,603 odds. Jared Goff for 30 regular season passing touchdowns. He's got 5. Sam Darnold's leading the league at 11.
It's still doable.
That's crazy. But this is definitely doable. Did not expect, thought I was going to get more than 5 so far after, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Next is Jake Ferguson with 750 receiving yards, tight end on Dallas. He's got 49. Shocking there. He hit this last year. I know there was some injury there, and I believe that was that week 2 game. Bouncing back a little bit. The Cowboys just need to find their identity, and then I think Jake will be able to find his way to get this line. But 700 yards to go. I think we can do that. It's only been 4 games. I think we can get 700 yards. George Kittle, 6 receiving touchdowns in the regular season. He's got 2. That's back-to-back weeks with a touchdown there. He should easily get this one. Plenty of games to get 4. Next is Devontae Adams for 1,250 receiving. This was the highest odds in this parlay at plus 320. Had some people talk me into this one just because it is, Devontae Adams, but again, it's Gardner Minshew. So I just decided to agree with them, put it in there. I know that, he was hurt last week, but sitting at 209 receiving yards after missing last week, I think that's okay. I actually thought he was going to be way less than that so far, but sitting at 209 after missing last week, I think this is okay. We need some help. We need 1,000 yards, more than 1,000 yards. Next is Mike Evans to go for 1,250. We know, again, that he can get his 1,000, but can he go over the hump and get to that 1,250? Again, he's at 214. He needs a little over 1,000, and we're only 4 weeks in, so that's possible. And then another one of my favorites one. This was plus 210. Brian Robinson on the Washington Commanders for 750 regular season rushing yards, and he's at 307 after
Let's do that.
weeks.
Let's do that.
That's another one where, plus 210, that's great value. It's a great straight bet piece for a future, but also an even better lay piece to get these odds up, and that's why this parlay is at 64,603 odds. So those are the 3 future bets there. Just wanted to review them and see kind of how the numbers look as we are a month into the football season. We'll see if hopefully after 2 months and after 3 months we're a lot closer to these. And if not, then you probably won't hear me talk about them again. But at least for the Commanders, Brian Robinson and the Commanders shocking my whole world. Okay, so would you like to go over the 3-1 teams, or would you like to do some would you rather?
Ooh, we could do 3-1 teams.
Let's do the 3-1 teams. Okay, so there are 7 teams in the National Football League after 4 weeks that are 3-1. The Buffalo Bills, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Houston Texans, the Washington Commanders, Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to be ranking from 3 to 1 the top 3-1 teams out of the 7 here. I would like you to go first.
Okay. So at 3, this is a little tough. I'm gonna put the Texans at 3. I did have the Bucks kind of with them too, just with a better win. The Texans look a little shaky, but I think longevity-wise down the season, more talent, they'll be able to edge them out. At 2 here, this was a hard pick because I really did not know what to do here, but I went with the Bills. The team I had number 1, we're going to talk about them, but the Bills, I think they're solid. Josh Allen showing he could carry this team wherever they want to go. Some of those throws he made, was it the Thursday night football game, Sunday night football game, were just ridiculous, even though they got thrashed. He still can show they can carry that team. Number 1, I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I do think that this might sound a little like I'm contradicting myself. I do think the Bills, like, let's say a playoff game or something like that, they get a big match down the stretch, the Bills could probably win that game if Josh Allen takes over. I just think the Lions are more complete, both sides of the ball, more weapons on offense, better line, better D-line, better line. Like, I just think they're a way better overall team. It sucks, though, because I have 2 teams that I left off that I didn't want to leave off. Number 1, I think the Bucs are actually legitimately a good team this year. I think I slept on a little bit. I thought they were going to fall off. Guys are getting older. The weapons are getting a little older. Baker's still showing he can carry that team. And obviously, Todd Bowles can lead a defense until that guy's 70 years old. So I slept on them a little bit. I'm pissed I had to leave them off. And another one I left off that I didn't want to was the Commanders. I think they legit might be the team this year. I think they actually might win the NFC East. Like, the Eagles look shaky as fuck. You can't let them, the Cowboys look like they have zero identity. These guys already have a 1-game lead. The Eagles are on a bye. Don't let them win next week. J.J. Daniels was like a polished NFL quarterback. We'll get to him later. I'm pissed I had to leave them off, but I'm going to go Texans. What was it? Texans, Bills, Lions. That's my 3.
Yeah, I like that list there. It's funny that you mentioned the teams that you left off because that's where I was going to go. In my top 3 teams that are 3-1, I was going to go Bucks at 3, This was a huge win. I understand that
I'm with it.
the Eagles didn't have a lot of those guys. I understand that. Again, I'm going to say it again. The Eagles would have won that game if they had those starters that were out on Sunday. The Eagles would have won that game. I know that, and I feel that truthfully. And that's not coming from an Eagles fan. And then in 2, I'm going to go with the Commanders. It's crazy, man.
Look at their wins, though. The wins are impressive.
The wins are impressive.
I agree.
Putting up damn near basically back-to-back 40 pieces on the road.
Perfect games.
That's something that has to be said, too. And then if you want to go even deeper and pull up all these Jaden Daniels stats about incompletions and about not punting the ball and the offense staying on the field, and if you want to go look at all that, that's also great, too. But I don't even think you really need to go into all these stats with Jaden Daniels on the Commanders, just because, I mean, think about it. We haven't seen the Commanders doing this in years. So it's obviously a very big shock, and it's eye-catching when you see that from the Commanders because we haven't seen that.
It's actually funny because they don't even piss me off. Like, they don't, like, if the Giants were really good this year, it pissed me off. The Cowboys were good, it pissed me off. I'm actually like,
I enjoy it.
I'm kind of down.
Enjoy
like, if they win the division, I'll be pissed. But like, if y'all want to be competitive and we gotta have big, I'm down. Let's do it. This
Harry
is cool.
McLaurin's got his quarterback. Brian Robinson is running the ball well. It's very exciting. And how about one of the McCaffrey brothers able to get onto one of these spicier teams that's new and upcoming.
Bobby Wagner leading that defense.
Yep. I know. Unbelievable. Just very shocking.
Dan Quinn, double agent in the division. Like,
yeah,
it's
that's
a little
true.
interesting.
Good for him, man. Good for him. And then lastly, I'll be in agreement there with the Lions at number 1. We saw on Monday Night Football that they know how to put up points. We can work on some things on the defense.
Absolutely.
But this team knows how to put up points. You got a dual-headed monster out of Gibbs and Montgomery again that we're seeing out of these two, and then you got your receivers there. I would like
no
to
Bills
see,
on there.
No Bills on there. I really wanted to put them on there, but they definitely took a hit after
slacking.
You play the Jags, you blow them out at home. Then you get a real team to play, and the opposite happens to you.
The only reason why I would still put the Bills there is because I feel like the Ravens were due for an ass beating. Even because you could say they beat the Cowboys' ass, but I guarantee you they went back and looked at that film of the second half and how they could have almost lost that game somehow, and were still like pissed off and like we need a dominant statement win. Maybe I believe in Josh too much. We'll see.
I mean, I do think
he's showing me some shit, bro. I thought they would be way worse than this. We called them the fall off last week, but I think that was a little obvious. I thought they'd be way worse off than this.
I mean, I think that the main point to take away from that Bills game was just that. I mean, a lot of people in media are talking about that play. The play where they're driving up the field and then they let Josh do that fucking
the trick play?
What?
No, Sean McDermott. That's why I don't like Sean McDermott. But I think he's legitimately this is crazy. Because as much as I don't like Sean McDermott for the shit he does like that, big games, big situation, we're coming back, getting momentum, doing dumb shit. Bro, no Matt Milano. They lost Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, corners. They've lost D linemen.
DeMar Hamlin's starting safety.
Exactly. And they've been able to be a competitive defense. I know that last game was bad. But there's things where Sean McDermott does where I'm like, okay, so you are a good coach, but you're kind of there's the left side of your brain that's completely brain dead. I don't know what's going on, but that's cool though. That's cool though. They 3-1. We're going to watch them. But I do kind of feel you on not believing them as much as other teams.
Yeah, I mean, they also just shocked me because I didn't think they would be here.
I mean the Dolphins wins fluky. The Dolphins wins fluky. They were down to the Cardinals by 2 scores.
Yep.
And then the Jaguars win. How much can we say about that? Their next 2 games are going to tell us a lot. At Texans, at Jets, tell us a lot.
And it's just crazy though because
it could be 5-1.
And then
that'd be a good 5-1.
Titans, we're beating the Titans.
Yeah.
And then
at the 12, it could get weird.
And then back.
But they
to
probably
the
should win that.
And I don't know. I think it's really going to be our deciding factor here once we get to November. Look at this stretch in November. Starting on November 17th, you're home against the Chiefs. Then I guess that's the bye. They get the bye after that. And then December 1st, home against the Niners. And then December 8th, in LA at SoFi against the Rams. And then December 15th, at Ford Field against the Lions. That's a really tough 4 there. I understand the Rams are still banged up with injuries, but you have to assume at that point
December we might have some guys back.
And Puka Nacua will be back by then. Bills could be in trouble. I mean, that could be. You hope that you can go 2-2 here. You hope.
Yeah.
You hope, and I don't see that.
Let's just call regular football plays too, Sean McDermott during that stretch.
Let's
just call regular football plays.
Right.
Holy fuck.
So that's kind of what the Bills are looking like. that makes me feel a little bit better because hopefully they just go 0-4
Fall off.
that
Yeah,
stretch,
that could happen, bro.
and then the Jets can go win that division. All right, so should we touch on some Would You Rather here because that was some fun? All right, so last week we kind of briefly touched on Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence and who would you rather have as your starting quarterback. Some of us came to a collective agreement that it was Daniel Jones.
Who was some of us?
I think 75% of you was there on Daniel Jones.
No, I wasn't.
I think there was 25% of you that was on Trevor.
I was hearing you. No, you were cooking. Because it wasn't that you were wrong. I don't think any of the points you brought up were wrong. That's why I was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, you kind of making me like, yeah. I do think T-Law is better though. But like, I don't think you were wrong though. I think you cooked. I think if you brought that to a stand of some people in front of a pulpit, they could be like, yeah, let's get there. Like I thought she was cooking. That's why I was like, okay.
I can believe it.
You had the stats with it. I wasn't mad. This first one, I think is a setup. Actually, no, we're gonna start with this one because this I think is actually good.
Okay.
Who would you rather have right now? Jalen Hurts or CJ Stroud? I want to kick this one to you first, too, as a Giants fan, to see your honest opinion. This one's hard for me.
I'm trying very hard. I want that to be said. I'm trying very hard because I don't want it to be taken out of context that I'm a Giants fan and I'm just hating on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. But the fucking turnover merchant himself.
Wow.
CJ Stroud is the correct answer.
Wow.
I understand CJ Stroud is not off to the hottest start that we were expecting after a damn near MVP caliber season last year. But Jalen Hurts leading the league in the past 2 years, 28 turnovers. He's damn near tied in interceptions this year. He's got 6 already on the year. Surprised he didn't get one in Tampa because I bet on that. It's one of my favorite bets this season, is just betting on a Jalen Hurts interception. And here's the big thing with Jalen Hurts. Like, you want to be that top dog. You want to be that top quarterback in the league, top 5, top 7 quarterback in the league. Well, you got to show us you can do it without those top guys. Everyone wants to hate on Daniel Jones. Now I'm bringing it into the Giants. Everyone wants to hate on Daniel Jones, but who has he had as his receivers the past couple seasons, and we just shelled him. So if you want to be a top quarterback, do it without Devontae Smith. Do it without A.J. Brown. And we clearly saw that you cannot.
That was one example. That was one example.
We can
go back.
We can go back for sure.
Go back.
We know that you can get in the end zone with that damn tush push, which you did, and you're a great mobile quarterback. You are very good at that. But what are you without that mobility to make a 3rd and 10, a first and 10, or a 4th and 2 and we get the tush push? Like, what are you without that? Once, I guess, the relationship, I want to say, with Kellen Moore becomes a thing and we're able to change these turnovers, like, he's going to be great, and the Eagles need that. Like, they need 110% out of Jalen Hurts. And I think it's just like, right now for me, I can't take it because of the turnovers. And then there are going to be people that are going to say, well, how can you say Jalen Hurts like that if we were putting Josh Allen on this whole pedestal,
Absolutely.
even though he turned over the ball like that? I do understand that, but in those games, like, Josh Allen was winning those football games.
And
Jalen is not.
Whoa. But what happened when Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen played last year?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Jalen got
because I have a couple things because like there's with Jalen Hurts, like, so I'm gonna pick Jalen Hurts. I think people have like an emotional response to Jalen Hurts because I'm part of the cult too when he first became a quarterback, that I don't think he's like that talented, like that wow you off the board talented. When you look at the quarterbacks at the top of the league, like the Burrows, the Mahomes, like all those guys, like they have wow you off the board talent. Even CJ Stroud, wow you off the board talent. The thing about Jalen Hurts, though, that I will say that people leave out a lot, there's 3 guys since 2022 who have more turnovers than him. And Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen are 2 of them. The one guy I'll leave off is T-Law, because, like, really, who cares about T-Law? Since 2022 as well, no quarterback has had more leads blown under 2 minutes by the defense than Jalen Hurts. And we had another example with the Falcons. The Eagles should technically be 3-1. There's a lot of, like, when we talk about Jalen Hurts, like, there's not a lot of, like, facts outside of turnovers where we have a lot of examples. Hasn't really killed games besides the big ones. Like, you can point to the Super Bowl, you can point to games in the regular season. But we can point to plenty of the guys across the league that people will take over Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat that have worse turnovers, way worse timing turnovers. Like, I think there's not many factual statements said about Jalen Hurts. If we want to talk about, I don't have the Stafford touchdowns accounted for. We can do that. We can have that conversation as well, too. But I think when we bring to the tangibles of leadership, what he's done in the playoffs, I don't want to hold CJ Stroud's playoff performance against him at all. I actually would put it with him, but just because Jalen Hurts got to the game, I'll give it to him. Also, this year, I'm not completely sold on the Texans. As much as I'm not sold on the Eagles, I'm not completely sold on the Texans. So with that, with Jalen Hurts' track record, and just he has a huge track record getting sold, I'll put him over CJ Stroud for now. So I think there's not a lot of factual statements going on when people talk about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think most Eagles fans would take Jalen Hurts right now. I think it's hard to take either because, like I said, CJ isn't off to this crazy start. The Texans don't look as good as
we thought the Texans would look way better.
So it's tough, but I think, and you brought up a solid point. I mean, most of the arguments around Jalen Hurts are surrounding the fact of turnovers, and it's 28 over the past 2 seasons, and they're 3-13 in the past 16 dating back to last year. We're not winning games. Understand all that. Is coaching a part of that too, obviously. So a lot of other factors into it, but obviously the main point being the turnovers. So I would put that on CJ Stroud and giving, the nod to CJ Stroud. Is that me hating on Jalen Hurts? Not necessarily. Like, it's just turning the football over. I don't know what to tell you. Like, but can he once he fixes that, can he be this electric quarterback that he was in 2022? Sure. A lot of people are making it out to seem now that was like a fluke thing for Jalen Hurts. Do I think he's like this whole great quarterback right now? No. Can he be? Absolutely. And he's shown that before. So I think the hate's a little bit, it is warranted, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that will keep up.
I disagree. Because I don't really think he's lost those like games. Like if maybe you could say possibly the Falcons game, but like I think our defense lost that game.
But even that Bucks game, like when that forced fumble came in, like
let's be like he lost the Bucks game. Like was that game?
I'm not saying he lost.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like
for that specific turnover, he held the ball way too long. Like
absolutely very bad turnover. I'd say that was a Carson Wentz turnover.
Throw the ball away at that point. Like
absolutely.
What are you waiting for at this point? Your O-line can't keep it up, and at that point, if you watch the clip, Saquon Barkley was blocking for most of the time to get in there. Like you can't expect your running back to hold off these guys as long as you were holding the football. So
absolutely,
I think there's just little mental things in there that if those can be patched, then it'll be a different story. But right now, I gotta go with CJ Stroud.
So I fucking oh my god. I wish I actually prepared for this more because I want to see how many of those games last year too at the end of the year because I can remember like at least 3 of them off the top of my head where the leads were blowing in the last 2 minutes. Seahawks was one of them.
It's Drew Lock.
Fuck. Did we lose that Chiefs game last year? I think we beat the Chiefs last year.
You did it.
So I was gonna say because people want to talk about that too. Look how many top quarterbacks that Jalen Hurts has literally gone to their crib and beat, like straight up.
The Bills game was at home.
Bills, Chiefs. Chiefs was in Arrowhead.
Yeah, Chiefs was in Arrowhead, and the Bills one was at
the link.
At the link.
I mean, plenty of times he's outdoed Dak. And people put Dak over Jalen at this point.
I mean, yeah. Stomped on by San Francisco, stomped on by Dallas, lose the late one by Seattle. The Arizona one was kind of a tough one. That was also at home.
Mm-hmm. That was a lead blowing under 2 minutes.
Yeah. But you won 5 in a row before that. With those games being Miami, I'm going to leave out Washington, but Miami, Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo.
I mean, we look at it though. Like we have Stafford, Tua, Dak, Pat, Josh, all outdueled.
And then a
2-minute lead blown by Drew Lock, 2-minute lead blown by Kyle. Like let's keep it a butt. I'm saying let's bring the facts out. That's what I'm saying.
Right, for sure. But then you throw the 49ers in there with that defense and he had nothing to show for it. And then
we got slammed.
Dallas.
You get slammed in the NFL sometimes. But if you're playing, let me talk about Matt Stafford, Tua, Dak, Pat, Josh. That record's decent, more than decent. Right, if that's what you're going against the year.
For sure, but then that's when you come in and say, how the hell do you go 1-5 to end the year with Seattle, Giants twice, and Arizona being in there?
2 blown 2-minute leads. Those are 2 W's if you flip them, if a defense gets a stop. There's 2 stops and there's a 3, you know what I mean? It's a whole different story. No one has their defense blown more leads with leads in 2 minutes than Jalen Hurts since 2022. We can go back to the season before and do the same shit. I promise you. If this guy was beating if he was consistently beating Darnold, Baker, Kirk, I'd be like, all right. But I've seen this guy get into the shit with the guys in the league that we say are them and beat them consistently. Until that wears off for me, I'll be like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going with CJ. It's also maybe a little bit premature to say because it's been, 1 year, but I'll still go with CJ. Let's go to Jaden Daniels. We're going to start there. Jaden Daniels or Anthony Richardson?
It's JD. It's obvious. I hate that I even brought this up because it's like, fuck, bro. My fault they are. But yeah, it's JD. I don't even have that's JD, bro.
Now, you could say, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. It's obviously Jaden Daniels, but it's only been 4 games. Just trying to play devil's advocate, right? Just trying to be... It's been 4 games. Also, Anthony Richardson, we understand, just like how the argument with Jalen Hurts is turnovers, the argument with Anthony Richardson is health. So, can he stay healthy? Now, let's go back.
But the thing about him too is like, I think my main Anthony Richardson argument is consistency. I think Jaden Daniels is just hella fucking consistent. The 2 quarterbacks we have under them, super fucking consistent. Like, there's so many examples of Anthony Richardson throws that he'll make the best throw in the NFL of the week. Like, by far, bar none. No one's making a throw that's even touching that. Then he'll have like 5 throws that are legit might be the worst of the week. That's what I mean by like, it's consistency. Like, AR, I was a big AR guy. And like, I'm only saying this because I've watched him a lot over the last 2 years. Maybe another extra year, rely on the run game more, but he's just got to be more consistent, man. We do have to get down too. We can't be hurt. He is electric when he's in the game, but I just think with the highs and the lows as a quarterback, it's a little too much. Like, don't give me the 75-yard look away bomb, the fucking Pierce, if we can just go 20 for fucking 35 every week, not turn the ball. You know what I mean? Let's calm games, rush for 85. I'm cool with that. With him, I just want to see more consistency. Right now, I have to go JD because JD's just hella consistent. I think they both had the same problem of not wanting to go the fuck down, though, and it pissed me off. So I think it might affect both their careers.
Also, Jaden Daniels is much smaller, so that was a lot of the things that these draft analysts were talking about with Jaden Daniels. Like,
both of them want to go the fuck down.
The longevity of his career is going to be in jeopardy if he starts taking hits because he's much smaller, he's much slimmer. I'm not saying that was what was said, and if you look at his his physique, it just looks like he looks much smaller than a lot of these guys that are trying to tackle him. So there's potential for injury there, like we're seeing with Anthony Richardson. But I also gotta just on the Anthony Richardson conversation there, I gotta just give some shade to Shane Steichen and the play calling there. You see him get hurt with the hip injury and kind of like that helmet to helmet awkward kind of fall from Fitzpatrick there. And then he's out of the game, but then he comes back and you call a designed run to him. Well, you knew it was hurt. So why would you give him the ball, make him run, and then take another hit? And then obviously he's done and he's out for the game. So I don't know. That was odd. But we got to see Flacco magic again because somehow he knows how to do that. Comeback player of the year again? Kidding.
I mean, that guy's incredible, bro.
Yeah. For, what is it, 17 years? 15 years?
Something like that.
So I think that's unfortunate for Anthony Richardson.
He doesn't have enough time. He has enough. That was not fair. Maybe I should have put. I'm trying to think who else I could have put in there, though. Because JD, CJ would have been unfair.
It's hard because it's. I know a lot of people. Everybody wants to be talking about Jaden Daniels right now. But again,
here's a good one.
It's 4 games.
CJ or Jordan Love. That's what we should have did. Wow. CJ or Jordan Love. Wow. I think I'm going to go J Love. I might be hype on the hype train. I don't know. I might be J Love. It's like my body's telling me to take CJ because what you saw. But also, you can say the same thing with J Love.
I think I'm probably going to go CJ.
Right?
A
little more mobile.
It's harder.
A little more mobile. Maybe more of a vocal leader.
I want to say Jordan Love.
What is, I don't even know what the differential between those two are, actually. I think it's actual preference. And I think I'm going to go with Jordan Love.
Yeah, I feel like it's preference. But, I mean, Jordan Love snapped. I mean, he had 4 touchdowns.
Snap versus the Birds.
But he also had 3 interceptions.
Picks. But bad picks, too.
Yeah.
Also some bad drops by some Green Bay wide receivers as well. And also the kicker. They win that game if it wasn't for the kicker. So how much are we talking about the picks if it wasn't for the kicker? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting to with the conversation with turnovers and shit. How much did it actually throw the game? Some of them were bad, but how much did it actually throw the game? It's weird, bro. You hear some coaches talk about turnovers and they talk about them like punts. It's fucked up. I don't agree with that statement, but that's how some coaches talk about turnovers in the NFL these days. I think I'm going to go J Love, man. It's fucked.
I feel like I would rock.
I think he showed me a lot with less. You know what I'm saying? I think showing me a lot with less does something.
Right, but the argument that everybody was talking about with social media and analysts too is like, we're being a little bit too premature on this whole Jordan Love train because it was like 7 or 8 games that was.
But he's still doing it.
That's right.
He's still doing it.
I understand that.
Still doing it. I feel a little different if he didn't hoop versus the Eagles, get hurt first week back, throw like 400, 3 picks, I know. But like, come on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Came in a Favre jersey, threw for 100 off the injury. Like, he might be it, bro.
His team told him to wear that Favre jersey. Because he just said he's got Parkinson's. So they said.
So I'm gassing it. That's cool. I might have to pick J Love though.
I do like that. That's a good question. It's tough.
That's a hard one.
Listen,
we might have to come back on the next show, do some research, and come back and do this one.
I just don't want to be in the majority that's just like continuing to ride the J Love chain. First of all, I haven't been.
We were early though, but we were there when people were telling him not to start.
Fair, but I haven't been 3 fantasy leagues, so like I'm gonna back him through and through, Monday through Monday. Like so, I understand that, but. I don't know.
People were telling us that they weren't sure that he was a starting quarterback. Yeah, I might get into that one day, but I it's looking pretty good right now. Guys, I said who were starting QBs, good QBs. Give it some time though, because Steelers could always steal it. But
and we can
don't let Justin Fields have a good 17 games. I might act the ass on this show,
chill, bro.
I might act the ass on this show.
If all that's gonna continue to happen, but
what is all that? I mean, he's not even doing all that.
That's what I mean.
He's playing like good football.
Yeah, but it's not anything like wow.
What do you? Let's go to the numbers.
Also, like
you rather have Justin Fields and Daniel Jones right now easily.
Sure,
easily.
I think I would. Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean I'm. That's no hate towards him at all. Towards Justin Fields, I would definitely take him up.
Let's go look at the game. Let's go look at the games. Justin Fields is hooping, bro, and no one's talking about it because everyone wanted him to be written off. That's one of my top stories of years. But I'm gonna give it 17 games.
I don't know if they.
No, people. Because I know because you know what people. No. Maybe not you, but I know what I would hear from people talking on social media, people on these shows. They wanted to be right about Justin Fields not being it so bad that they don't want to talk about him playing good football in Pittsburgh. I know for a fact.
Yeah, so that was actually
70% completion.
First of all, that might have been
one pick,
the most passing yards he's had. 312.
Let's talk about it. Like, let's actually talk about it. Because no one's going to do it. If we don't do it, no one's going to do it.
So 16-9 TD to interception last year. That was with the Bears in 2023. You go to 2022.
What are we doing? What are we going to the pass for? What are we doing?
I'm just looking.
What are we doing?
Dang, Bears really suck.
What are we doing?
17-11. I mean, I almost feel like that's too far back. That's still development phase. This year, I mean, that ended up being a really good game against the Steelers. 312. %65 completion. Still getting his ass kicked, sacked. Can we get this guy some more protection? Isn't that part of the reason why everyone was blaming his ass last year? It's because he had no time to get rid of the ball. Does that sound familiar to people? 312.
Like, let's just take this in. Because I heard a lot of bullshit from people, bro, that obviously really like to jump to conclusions about young quarterbacks. Let's just let this marinate. Guys playing extremely good winning football, and it's very, very, very quiet. Probably beat a division winner. Bad loss versus the Colts. Still played well.
It would be wild if they were 4-0.
It'd be insane.
I would still call them frauds, but
I don't think the team's necessarily that good. I'm just happy he's proven.
I understand that.
Because there are people that were legitimately saying this guy's not a starter quarterback in the NFL. That is fucking ridiculous to me.
I never understood that. He's one of the best athletes in the NFL, by the way. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these quarterbacks that are. But let's shout out Jay Fields, man. They try to write people off, bro. It's really sad. I think the next one on the list is Bryce Young, too. Because Bryce Young's fully written off. I think he's next.
He is fully written off.
Let's see, let's see how long it took Drew Brees to develop. Another 5'9" guy. It took Drew Brees about 5-6 years. And people go on podcasts now talking about he's one of the most underrated quarterback of all time. So it's like, we got to look back into the facts of the game we're watching. I know we watch a lot of anomalies, the Ryan Williams come out of nowhere and we all like, wow, like, I want my guy to be Ryan Williams. It's just not going to happen. It's not
Serena Williams tweeting. She's like, that's my little cousin. Good job. And then everyone's like,
not everybody cousin Serena. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people grew up like me and you, but they happen to be good at football. They got to take some time to develop. You know what I'm saying? Bryce Young not that much taller than you, bro.
I know.
Give him some time.
Yeah, let him develop.
Yeah. You can go watch, because sometimes with these people, like, I understand highlight tapes. Highlight tapes are not necessarily like the pinnacle, whatever. But like, let's say CJ Stroud was struggling, it'd be like, go watch that Georgia game. Like, do you think that guy really can't play quarterback? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not CJ Stroud, Bryce Young's example. Number, first of all, no one likes to talk about it, but that was one of the like worst Bama teams we've seen in the last couple of years. Bryce Young's team, he carried the fuck out that team. Go watch the Iron Bowl. That comeback that he like, tell me that guy can't play quarterback. Like, it's just things like that where it's a little like, let's be real here. Like, we remember Justin Fields' Ohio State team, like what that guy was doing. Like, there's other quarterbacks where it's like, if we want to talk about bust and shit like that, and we go back to look at what they did in college, like, okay, maybe we were gassing them a little bit. Like, I'm not saying AR is going to be a bust, but if you look at AR's college, we basically like judged him off of potential. Some good plays, it's like, oh, it could be really good if it's this, but he played for Florida, so we're going to judge it off potential. Some of these guys that we write off early, we legit have facts in front of us that these guys could play at the biggest stage and play good football, and we kind of just like don't care. It's weird, but we'd rather watch guys who have potential and be like, oh, but he can be this and he can be that. I like doing the fact thing.
Bryce was also just put in a terrible situation.
Couldn't be worse.
Like,
I think him and Justin got two horrible ends of the sticks.
This is no disrespect to Adam Thielen, who is on one of the potential trading blocks here to get sent to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam Thielen was his number one wide receiver. Coming from Alabama, you got no line.
No culture. That's what people don't understand. Like, fuck the players that's there. There's no culture. Like, the Bears are still in a bad spot. I have a rookie quarterback. You see this with DJ Moore, last on the bench, last out the locker room. Like, when you're a rookie quarterback, you're coming to a bad culture. You could have weapons, bro, but like, you need help. It's my first year here. I don't know what's going on. The game's so much faster. I got mortgages and shit now. People ask me for money. I got interviews that mean more now. I need help. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Like, you could have legit everybody to your disposal, but the culture shit, you're going to be awful. You're going to be terrible. All the rookie quarterbacks that come in and do okay. Look at the culture in Washington. I wish he has a good culture. Started by Riverboat Ron a couple years ago. We talked about on this podcast how he was changing the culture. Then Dan Quinn comes in. They bring more guys in. Bobby Wagner comes in. That's a fucking locker room right there. Zach Ertz is in there. That's a good locker room for a rookie, whether they were going to be good or not. Like, I'm trying to think of other examples. Fuck, who's balling right now? I would even say at a point, the Titans locker room probably tighter than a lot of these other locker rooms. When Vrabel was there, like let's say last year Vrabel was there, we have Hop in there, some vets in there. I'd take that locker room over a lot of locker rooms that these young guys come into. Jay Love's locker room. The Packers were not good when he walked into that locker room. But Matt LaFleur's there, got some more vets there. The guys are buying in. It's fucking Green Bay. We have a family-owned business here. Not everyone, there's no turmoil in the front office. Like, it's easier for these guys to walk into these situations and fucking come into their own when they're not coming into like having to fix a relationship as a 21-year-old rookie quarterback. Like, I'm having to fix relationships between my coach and my GM and my president, and I'm 22 years old, and you want me to go out there and throw for 380 yards and 2 touchdowns every week. It's not going to happen, bro. I don't feel comfortable. And I had the hardest job out here. What the fuck? Like, maybe, I don't know, man. Sometimes we gotta go. Some people get in your flag football team, play like the top guy role. Go play quarterback. You know what I mean? Keep the team together. It's not. You think you laughing? All right, go play flag QB. I'll give you QB.
I won't. I don't.
God, go do it. Nah, because we gonna be mad at you. Because we think we gonna be mad at you. Yo, what the fuck, Alex? I'm wide open. Yeah, motherfucker.
I wanna catch the ball. I don't want to throw the ball.
That's you. You gonna be my Danny Woodhead. My CMC type.
Yeah, out of the backfield. That's funny. All right, we got to get out of here. I want to be having more of those conversations with Bryce and.
You know, that's a soft spot for me. I don't know why, but I just hate going online seeing like the young QBs just get dumb scrutinized. Let's scrutinize the older guys that aren't showing this shit. You know what I mean? I'm down for that. Let's scrutinize the guys that still get paid for no reason. I'm down for that. Young guys, I'm not too down. I'm not too down for that.
We can do it. Dak.
I'm not too down for that.
Dak,
you know what I'm saying? We could do it.
Trevor.
We did it. We did it. You know what I mean? I'm down for that.
Guys are getting upwards of $60 million.
Let's keep the young guys. Young guys get a 3-year grace period with me. You know what I mean? After that, You on your own.
All right, we're out of here. We'll be back soon. NFL, college. I gotta fill out these damn forms for the pool to make sure everybody's checked in. I haven't done that yet, so
What do you
we'll
mean?
get to that. Like just the scores.
Oh,
I gotta put the scores in.
Yeah, don't put my score.
The pool up there. Yeah, I know.
Tweak my Ole Miss score. They won.
Yeah, facts.
You got it.
You're listening and watching the All Day Everyday Show with all the AJ and Manny Ruffin. We'll see you soon. Hit some bets. Playoff baseball's here, man. Lock the fuck in.